Has an underground city been found under the Pyramid of Khafre, the second pyramid on the Giza Plateau? Although people have been talking about this possibility for decades, this is a game changer. Modern science has now shown that there are extensive cavernous areas under the second pyramid. In an official release from the Khafre Project, a project utilizing SAR technology, synthetic aperture radar, emitting microwave pulses directed toward the Earth from Capella space satellites, scientists working on the project have identified corridors, chambers, tunnels extending several kilometers beneath the surface of the plateau. According to them, their scans shows what looks like a city, corresponding with the legendary Halls of Amenti. Amenti means hidden, and according to traditional archaeology, the halls are supposed to be a mythical place associated with the underworld, where souls journey to be put on trial and ultimately judged. However, other researchers over the decades have contended that Amenti was an actual physical place, possibly built by the Atlantean culture, or really ancient Egyptians that were a part of that Atlantean culture, and hidden underground at the Giza Plateau. This new research seems to be showing that Amenti, or what we've been referring to as Amenti, was an actual real physical location hidden underground. This SAR technology that's been utilized uses an ultra-high azimuth radar imaging achieved through specialized spotlight acquisitions with long Doppler integrations, and they were able to extract precise acoustic information. Okay, that's a mouthful. But using this, in conjunction with Doppler tomography developed by Dr. Filippo Biondi, the recreation of three-dimensional underground structures was achieved. It has allowed the Khafre Project research team to map the subsurface of the Giza Plateau without intrusive excavations. You have to understand, the Giza Plateau is solid limestone built up over millions and millions of years when it used to be underneath an ancient ocean. In fact, when you go to the Giza Plateau, you can actually find fossilized remains of sea animals from millions of years ago right next to the pyramids. To excavate this would require extensive drilling into the plateau, unless, of course, an entranceway is found. The radar imaging method allows a safer way to explore the plateau without the haphazard use of heavy machinery. Over the coming months, the project is going to continue its scans to put together a more precise and complete map of the Giza Plateau. But so far, the team has discovered 8 cylindrical structures plunging deep into the solid limestone bedrock that are surrounded by these spiral passageways that end in these giant cubical structures, open chambers that, well, we really don't know what's in there. Some are suggesting that this was for the amplification of some sort of sound technology. Perhaps. Science has already confirmed that the Great Pyramid of Giza is harnessing and storing energy from the Earth. Are these underground chambers part of that mechanism? This underground complex is so massive that it does extend underneath the other pyramids on the plateau. This discovery comes less than a year after it was announced that a mysterious L-shaped structure was discovered buried beneath the Giza West Field near the Great Pyramid. What else is to be discovered underneath this highly enigmatic location? You can be assured we'll be covering this in our upcoming Stargates of Ancient Egypt tour. For details on that, please visit my website under the Events and Tours tab. So the announcement by the Khafre Project that there is an ancient hidden underground city under the second pyramid on the Giza Plateau has taken the internet by firestorm. There's been a lot of pushback on it. I've seen your comments down there. So let's address a few of these things. And remember, while I may be a research and author, I'm not one of the scientists on this project. I'm just reporting on this because I have an interest and I find it fascinating. Okay, first and foremost, the straight up accusation that it's all a hoax. Well, these are real scientists on this project and they have a reputation, careers, funding to think of. So they're putting a lot on the line with this. The team consists of Dr. Filippo Biondi, a specialist in radar technology and satellite imagery, Professor Armando May, a historian and Egyptologist specializing in pre-dynastic civilizations, Professor Corrado Malanga, a chemist and former researcher at the University of Pisa, Dr. Nicole Ciccolo, a forensic analyst and specialist in deciphering ancient manuscripts. Those are quite impressive credentials. Okay, second, the comments about the technology and stating it doesn't work like that. Well, you'll have to take that up with Dr. Biondi. He's the specialist there. And the team has already published a peer-reviewed scientific paper about using this same technology to scan underneath the Great Pyramid of Giza a couple years ago. So since they already accomplished this before with the Great Pyramid and the scientific community accepted it back then, why not now with the second pyramid? Finally, the comments that you've only been finding this on social media and not other sources. And this, yes, this is a legitimate gripe, and I absolutely agree with you. The team could have done a much better job of releasing this information. There was actually a press conference back on March 15th in which they released this information to a pretty sizable crowd in Italy. This was live streamed, but the stream wasn't left as a recording afterward. Dr. Nicole Ciccolo, the forensic analyst on this project, does have some of these clips on her YouTube channel, and she does have some of the previous press releases there as well. It's also my understanding that an English version of this press conference on March 15th is going to be coming out here within the next week or two, so be on the lookout for that. The images that you've seen floating around are actually from that conference, but I absolutely agree that this project needs a website. It doesn't. Even though these are legitimate scientists and they are doing real research, there needs to be a centralized location for this information rather than us hunting around all over the internet for it and only finding it really on social media. Having a centralized location, having a website where people could go to and find this information would have better to have helped legitimize their research that they're doing. Because of this, many of my colleagues are taking a hands-off approach to this whole thing and are really awaiting more information about it all. With such a controversial topic, it would have really helped to have had a location, a website, or something in which people could go to, find links to the papers that they've already published, have videos and images of this research that they are doing rather than trying to hunt around through social media. Personally, I'm excited about this research, but I'm remaining cautiously optimistic at this point. I've always believed that there's more going on underneath the Giza Plateau than what has previously been revealed. And this could be showing us just that very thing. I agree, we need more evidence. Can we find the entranceway to these cavernous areas and explore it? Would the Egyptian authorities allow such a thing? They can be pretty staunch in maintaining their narrative, which we know has many inconsistencies. Stay tuned for more.